Welcome to Life Coaches Unfiltered, where Desiree, Dory, and Michelle, three life coaches, are here to answer the questions you have, but we're afraid to ask. No fluff, no filters, just real talk to help you navigate life's big challenges. Let's dive in.
Good morning, y'all. We are back for episode 11. It's a bonus episode. We usually only do 10 episodes in a season. Season 2, episode 11. We're going to talk today about if you're feeling a little bit on edge, how to stay sane in an insane world. So, if that speaks to you, that's what we're going to be unpacking today. But first, let's do a little bit of check-ins. How's life treating y'all?
Oh,
Good.
I'm on a whirlwind.
Well, that looks like a tornado.
Whirlwind. I last week I was just like, oh my God, it just went so quickly. And then I was trying to meet people, talk with people, and it's just like, the days just got away with me. It's just, you have those weeks, right? Where just things just get away. But I'm here. I'm ready
Yay.
for Thanksgiving. I'm ready to
I was
eat.
going to say, do you believe Thanksgiving is next week? Oh my God.
I'm ready to eat.
Crazy.
We hope y'all are listening to this as you're driving down the road to go eat some turkey and stuffing.
Not killing your family. That's the key. Do not hurt your family.
Yeah.
Yes. Do not go to jail unless someone's got that bail money.
They installed your buttons so they know how to push them very effectively. So just keep that in mind, y'all.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. They installed them. I like that.
Well, especially your parents, like, but then your siblings also they they had an inside track. They lived with you. They know what sets you off. Yeah. I'm not victim blaming, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, yeah.
You speaking the truth, girl. You speaking the truth.
Anyway, I mean, I just returned from a family trip, but there was really there wasn't any. It was anyway, it was fine. But last week was a blur. I was like, what? Where did it go?
Yeah.
What day is it? So anyway, yeah, lots of driving, lots of peopling. So yesterday, of course, I did nothing, which was great. I
What
watched the
about you?
new, huh?
I was about to say, what about you, Dory? So I didn't mean to cut you off, Desi. I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
It really was not that important.
Sure it was.
Dory, give us a
I'm
little
I'm good.
check-in.
I spent a lot of like this past weekend at Arts and Crafts Festival with my mom, lifting stuff, moving stuff, and yeah. So today I'm paying the price. My back is killing me, y'all. It's
Oh,
but it is what it is. I enjoyed the time. It was sunny, which was great. It was not cold, which was amazing, and I got to smell funnel cakes all day. So,
yeah. I don't know if
That's
that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I we actually had my mother and I split a funnel cake. And have you ever had a funnel cake, Michelle? Do you know? Yeah. So, they are like, it's just fried dough with powdered sugar on top, which is, so good. But after you smelled it for like 5 hours, you're kind of like, oh, it's not, But it was a good weekend. It was a good weekend. I'm recovering today. And happy to be back though on the podcast. I missed y'all so much.
We missed you. I was like,
We
wow, we're so
didn't.
boring. Just two of us.
Just
No
saying,
offense.
Desi.
Oh God, I offended Michelle.
That's
I
it.
have missed
I'm
you.
gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. It was so boring, so I don't
It was
entertain you
it
for the rest.
was we were just really, I don't want to say demure. We were just reserved, I felt like.
You
Anyway,
think we were reserved?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
You apparently got triggered a little bit.
You think?
Yeah. Anyway, we stepped on a little emotional landmine, Michelle.
You think?
Sorry. Sorry about
No, I
that.
mean it's good. I mean this is life, right? We can see when you kind of hit those triggers and you just need to get it out. So that's all I
Yeah.
did. I just got it out.
I'm not mad about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not mad about it. I don't know. I just, anyway. All right. So let's talk today. Well, here I've just kind of noticed, and I would love y'all's input on this, that everywhere I go, people are just a little bit testy or
On
just a
edge.
little like pissy and short with their temper and also super sensitive on like we're just all kind of like grenades with the pin pulled, just waiting to explode right now. And so Michelle and I were like, let's talk about it.
Yep.
So have you guys experienced that? Like,
I would
My
say like hanging out with some of my friends. Not that you all aren't my friends. Um,
mm,
every one of us have kind of said like we're in kind of like survival mode and like, the hairs are, our hair is on fire. Um, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And I'll talk from my perspective. I feel like some points of the over the past 6 months, my nervous system has been shot because I've been, worried about what's going on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, what's happening in this country. And then as me as an immigrant of this country and coming over from England and everything like that, my kind of status in this country, that was very stressful. And obviously it was stressful for my family. So, that's been a big deal for me. Um, and then just how people are surviving. If I'm, me and my husband, yeah, we earn a decent wage and everything like that, and we're struggling. And I can't even imagine the people who are not as fortunate as me, what they're going through. And then I hear my friends, again, same, two-parent household, that type of thing, they're struggling. And so that to me, I'm just like, what is going on? And then I talk to my friends back in England. They're struggling too. So I feel like everyone, wherever you are probably in the world, everyone is kind of like on guard right now. And it's it's interesting times. Who would have thought this would be happening around the world? So, yeah, I don't think it's just here. I got friends back home and they're feeling the same thing. Everyone's gone quiet now.
I was on a I was on a call last week with coaches from all around the world. So Canada, Germany, New Zealand, United States. It's a pretty close-knit group of mine. I know these guys pretty well. Girls and guys. And everybody's feeling it too.
Hmm.
Uh yeah. And what I saw happening in an environment where I do some work, some in-person work. Um, I do some like facilitation and training, and our team was really stressed, and it was coming through with the students' feedback, like, "Hey, you're being too direct with us," and like tone it down. Like I've never had a student tell me that. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I back off and I would apologize and say, like, I'm here to help you, not intimidate you. Right. And so I was like, whoa, this is some interesting stuff. Um, I've never seen that before. Um, yeah, it was, I feel like it's been increasing in the last couple months. And I think that there's a lot of people that are really concerned, especially with uh, making sure that people aren't going hungry right now
Hmm.
because there are so many struggles. So yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces going on right now, and I do believe that people are in survival mode. Dory, have you seen any of this?
you know what I'm gonna take it from a different, like a behavior perspective of what I've seen a lot of impatience with other people and things like that. Like last night coming home, like coming back to where I'm at today, I had someone who was, you know, y'all, I don't drive the speed limit. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not someone who drives the speed limit. And I was going over the speed limit, and I had somebody come up on a two-lane highway right behind me, flashing their lights at me, and then passed me because I moved out of the way so they could go around me, passed me, and then like honked the horn and was acting crazy. And I'm like, I got out of your way. I did what you wanted to do. Why do you have to still like, do that? It was kind of a little intimidating and scary because I'm like, why so angry? And
Mm.
ended up like we got to a red light and I was right behind him. I was like, hi, how are you? So nice to, that you're like not having a good night. So I think that that's what I have just seen is a lot because, a lot of my friends are have a we tend to not bright side. That's another episode. But we do tend to kind of look at things from a different kind of perspective. So but what I do see outside of my friend zone is a lot of people that are like really having a hard time with other people. And I think it's the circumstances of what's going on and the fear of it's fear based, right? Of everything that's going on that's causing an impatience and an intolerance and a lot of other things of just being just not nice to each other. And that's it's really a shame because I feel like this is a time where people should be coming together and going, it's time to come together and not be so like, angry at each other.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that when our nervous systems are activated and we're put in this survival mode that we're looking through at everything through the lens of fear
Hmm.
of do I need to be afraid of you? Are you friend or enemy? And so you're going to have your guard up, which is it's so interesting. But I think we're seeing a lot of activated nervous systems because of circumstances. And then people don't know they don't realize that they have an activated nervous system and they're just walking around, with this ball of tension.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had some very aggressive driving happen to me on the interstate. I mean, I was in the right lane going above the speed limit and somebody in front of me was going slower. So I waited and put my blinker on and got into the left lane and somebody was driving like a banshee, like just driving like they were on a racetrack and came up super fast behind me and were mad because they actually had to use the brake pedal and come off cruise control for about 5 seconds so that I could finish my passing and get in the right lane. And of course, that became my fault. And I'm like, I'm following the rules. I was just using the left lane to pass, friend, But like, of course, you were in my way and I own the road. And I'm like, get over yourself. Like, just, yeah. I've seen that through the years of, yeah, me driving. And yeah, I'm not nice when it happens either. Like sometimes I used to be a real turd when I was a kid. My dad told me I was going to be a victim of road rage. I should stop doing this. But if people were really, really aggressive with me, I would just hang back and go the speed limit with whoever I was trying to pass at the time. And that would really piss off the person behind me. And I'd do that for a good 5 minutes. I don't do that anymore. Um, and I don't recommend that, especially in this environment. But yeah, that
Oh,
was my
can I just suggest a few things, right?
yes.
A, the people who drive on these highways in America, can I give you a little tip? Get the fuck out of the fast lane. Because people sit in that fast lane, and that
Hmm.
really annoys me because that's not what it's for. It is for overtaking. And if you go to Europe, that's how it's used properly. You don't sit in that fast lane driving slow because those people really annoy me, as you can hear in my
Yes.
voice.
Well,
If you want to go slow, stay in that slow lane. If you want to go a little bit faster, stay in that middle lane. But then if you want to overtake, go in that left lane, and then move your ass over and get out.
Yes. That's the way it should be used. And that's how I have, as a grown woman, that's how I do use it. Anyway, we didn't mean to get on the subject of,
No, it's all
I
right.
digress. Okay.
I was I was gonna say that for me right now, I have had to take my social media off my phone because
Ooh,
I would find myself activating my nervous system like every 5 minutes, every 5, 10 minutes. And I kind of clocked myself one day, sitting up, behind my laptop trying to do some work, and then I'm looking at my phone, and then I'm like, okay, let me click. And then I'm scrolling, and then I'm reading all this bad news, and then I'll turn it off, and then I'll come back to it another time. And I must have clicked about 10 times within like an hour. And I was like, okay, this has to stop because I wasn't sleeping that well. Again, thinking about all the things of what's going on. And I had to make a decision. I was just like, no, I can't keep it on my phone anymore. And so I've kind of nixed it, and I've noticed the difference in my body and everything like that. But you know, the doom scrolling is not good
yeah.
at
I want to talk about something really quick because we've talked about this in several episodes, or we've mentioned this in several episodes. And for listeners that may not understand when we say activating our nervous system or our nervous system's being activated, can we dive into that just
Mhm.
for a minute so we can kind of explain what we're talking about when we're talking about for the people that don't know what that is. And Desiree, I consider you like one of our experts on, helping people to regulate their nervous systems. Do you mind just kind of sharing really quick what that is? Not to put you on the spot, but putting you on the
Girl,
spot.
I was going to suggest that we talk about it because I don't think that people, if you're not in tune with what's happening in your body, you don't even, like, just telling that story about, like, of the traffic and hearing Dory's story, like, my nervous system got activated just by hearing that story. So what happens for me is I feel like a rise in my blood pressure, like I start to get tense and agitated. Like I've become on guard. My breathing gets a little bit shallow. It's subtle but when, the best advice I guess that I can give you, or the best direction, is, when do you feel at peace? It's a feeling of kind of tension and anxiety and unease. It can be physical symptoms. Sometimes you have a pit in your stomach. Sometimes I used to get really, really anxious when I was a kid, and I didn't realize it was an activated nervous system. So when you feel on guard, when you feel like your guard is up, if you're in an area of town where you're unfamiliar or you don't feel comfortable, and you're afraid to get out of your car or walk, if it's like those types of situations, your nervous system likely feels activated. So if you're feeling that in the grocery store or when you're driving down the road, those are some tips of, like, this is how we start to get in tune with what's happening. The other day, I'll give you for instance, I was driving home and I knew I had to drive through Baton Rouge, and something said, check the football schedule, Desi, because it's going to back up and you're going to be sitting on that Mississippi River Bridge. She's told the story about how I've already catastrophized that whole situation. We're not going to do that today. There was a game. It was a day game. I knew I was going to get stuck in traffic. I took a different way. I went out of my way to go over a different bridge so I didn't get stuck in that traffic. So I knew what that was going to activate my nervous system. So things like that, like paying attention
I
to what's going on in your physical body. What does it feel like to y'all?
I was gonna say it's that fight or flight mechanism too, right? It's that like we have in our nervous system this beautiful innate thing that and like triggers like that move, like that move or freeze or whatever it is for you, like type of thing. Um, when that happens, like yeah, for me it's that it it it's an anxious feeling for me, like an anxiety type of like just kind of like a I can feel like just that uncomfortable feeling, and sometimes I don't even know what it's about. It doesn't even have to be. So it's something triggered it for me, and y'all know I'm all about the subconscious stuff. Sometimes it could be something triggered at a subconscious level that I don't even know what it is, but I know something's not right. And I'm not feeling it, and I'm feeling just kind of like that feeling of where I'm gonna like I want to just flee or put the head, put my head under the covers and do nothing. It's just that kind of it's fight or flight. And it's for me it is definitely just that feeling of just kind of oof, something doesn't feel good. It's a pit in my stomach. Something's not right. And just that nervous, anxious feeling. Michelle?
I would say that my body is very, very good at telling me when I'm like anxious and stressed and like shot. I get um my throat kind of not seizes up, but it's just kind of I get like a feeling bad sensation in my throat, and then it will kind of go down like my esophagus. It's kind of like heartburn type deal, and it won't go away. And then I'll get a stress headache.
Mhm.
That's how I know when I'm like stressed and on edge, and it's very, very noticeable now. Like whenever it comes up, I'm just like, okay, my body is stressed, it's on edge, and it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. But yeah, it's like a burning sensation that again, kind of like acid reflux, which I've suffered from, and I've had an ulcer, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, I'm triggering that kind of situation now. So yeah, it's not fun. It is not fun at all.
Like mine is like an adrenaline. Like I feel like there's gasoline running through my veins. Like I'm jittery, which is,
And
I
that's
mean, does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean that's totally makes sense. Like with your nervous system, like it is your nerves and everything going through your body that just like it's the electrical highway of how everything functions and operates, and it's the thing that just goes like a charge sends a charge through you, and so that makes total sense.
Like somebody came and flipped on the floodlight in your nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a good segue, Dory. Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize that they're even we're so focused on go, 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 survive, 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 that we're not paying attention to what's happening in our bodies. And that's the first clue is, oh, like the other thing is the ruminating thoughts. So when you start catastrophizing, when you start thinking, okay, this is going to happen and this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And then before you know it, you know how it's all going to play out. Um, so that's another of those ruminating thoughts. But the physical tension that we have. I mean, most of us are probably walking around with our jaws pretty clenched all the time. I'm always amazed in a yoga class when the teacher's like, unclench your jaw. And I was like, how did you know I was clenching my jaw? But we all do it, right? That's another like our tension in our shoulders. Um, yeah, that we carry this in our bodies. So it's readily available to us, but a lot of us don't aren't even aware that it's there.
Yeah. I would even like ask our like listeners right now to even pay attention right now, this moment. Like, how are you breathing? Are you breathing shallow? Are you doing like breathing from just the top of your lungs? When was the last time you took a deep breath? Are you breathing at all?
Yeah.
Sometimes I catch myself holding my breath, and I know that that's like I'm in a really bad state if I catch myself holding my breath. And, so just take a look at that right now, and everybody just take a deep breath and just breathe in and breathe out just as long as you breathed in, and take a moment just to kind of do that. And that helps to reset and restore your nervous system as well.
Yeah, just a couple deep breaths. Like if you feel like you want to punch somebody, um, take about three long, slow, deep breaths and focus on Michelle's losing it. You're so quiet and you're laughing. Focus on your exhale. Just let it like slow down that exhale and take as long of an exhale as you can. And then pay attention to how you feel afterwards. So what I like to do when I do this with clients or students, whatever the environment is like pick a word. How are you feeling now? Okay, I'm frustrated. Okay, do a couple deep breaths. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling now? You can even do body scans where you start to scan where you're holding tension in your body. And on your breath, as you exhale, allowing that area to soften. And it's amazing what you can do with just a few minutes of bringing yourself some peace. Um, Long, slow breaths, that's not stuff that should really trigger it should be helpful to calm your nervous system down. There's all kinds of techniques um, to help you kind of reset your nervous system, kind of dial that down. So we talked about the nervous system stuff, how we see this showing up in other in our lives, in our communities. We talked a little bit about like what has contributed to this. There's a lot going on in the world, not just the United States, but the United States is a very stressful place right now. Um, yeah. What are other things besides like mindfulness and breath? We talked a little bit about boundaries in a previous episode.
Michelle brought up a good point too. It's about your environment too, and being able to control your environment. What do you want to let into your world? Sometimes, listen, I'm going to be a self-proclaimed Pollyanna. I am. That's who I am. That's what I do. I have a Dory bubble, and I'm very happy in my Dory bubble. I built that bubble around me because I am extra sensitive to number one, I'm an empath. And for people that don't know what that means, it means I take on other people's emotions. I can pick them up, I can pick up your feelings. I put myself in your shoes, which as a coach is a great thing to be. That I can step in for a minute, feel what it feels like to feel like you, and be able to go relate a little bit more, and then be able to step back out. But because I've learned over the years, if I get too absorbed with everything that's going on in the world, I can become depressed, stressed, and a mess. And I don't want, for that. So I say that to say that I have to be very careful about what I subject myself to, whether it's social media, news, TV shows, people, and how much I can like subject myself to negative people and things like that, and just being able to put those barriers and those controls. I've got a mother-in-law to this day, God bless her. She keeps me, safe in some ways because she'll call me and go, "Did you know that we're gonna have tornadoes? We're gonna have tornadoes tonight. Hey, there's a hurricane coming, Dory." She's like been able to like be like, "You probably don't want to like, go, out tonight because there's a tornado coming or something." But I've that's for me, myself, and I encourage my clients too, like look at what your social media. Sorry, I'm follow the squirrels with me, everybody. I had a client who was having anger management issues. I said a good telltale about like what you're feeding into your soul is look at your feed. Watch your feed and see what is showing up on your feed. Well, we could talk about how Big Brother knows everything and all that kind of stuff. But if you look at your feed, it is a telltale sign of what you're feeding your soul. And what he noticed was a lot of fights, a lot of things like that were showing up on his social media feeds and into his stuff. And I'm like, is that what you want to be feeding into your soul? Do you have, he came to me for anger management. So if you have anger management things, is that really what you want to be putting into your soul? So can you now let's start trying to figure out how to eliminate some of those things. And you can watch some if you want, but figuring those things out. So to me, it's about the environment, whether it's social media, news, and people.
Dory, you're so funny because you're on my wavelength because I've noticed that I get very triggered when I watch certain TV shows. And that never used to happen to me. My husband loves to watch, lots of shows with fighting and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll get engrossed in the storyline and that will actually affect me. So
Mhm.
the the empathy and he's just like, Michelle, it's not real. And I'm just like, oh, I can't watch this. I can't watch anymore. This is not me because I feel it and then I start to get that again, that
Mhm.
stressed feeling and the headache and the tension in my chest and I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to watch this program. No, this is not for me. So I am definitely noticing now like TV programs are triggering for me and I have to and I'm aware of it now and I'm just like, yeah, can't watch that. Oh, let me watch this. Let me watch this puppy one or let me watch this girly one or whatever. But that's definitely something that's happened to me recently that I've
And
noticed.
just because you watched it and liked it before doesn't mean you have to continue. And I think that was something like when I got sober, there was a show, and it was a show that I liked, and it was about a motorcycle gang. I'll just leave it at that. And it was very
Sons of
intense, but there was a
Anarchy.
lot of, yeah. And then
See,
I couldn't
that's
watch it. I couldn't watch it anymore after it just my taste changed, the environment changed, and it triggered a lot of things like with, some of my physical abuse and things like that in the past. I didn't even realize that it was triggering, but it became a trigger at that point, and I was like, I can't watch this anymore. And so I just had to, I don't even know how the seasons or the it ended at the end of it all, but I couldn't do it anymore, and that's okay. I think people sometimes get so committed to whatever it is that you've been doing, whatever it is you've been around and stuff. It's okay to just say, it doesn't work for me today. It may work for you again at another time, but can you step away from it, get a different perspective of what is it doing? How's it feeding your soul?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that this helps me feel good because years ago, people are like, "You want to go to the movies?" And I was like, "No, the movies stress me out, especially like action adventure movies and horror. I will not do it." And I grew up in like, a video store rental business. Like I was around movies all the time and I hated watching them. And because they would stress me out. And it was so funny because I was dating a guy years ago and he was like, let's go watch this movie with Nicolas Cage. And it was an action adventure movie. And we left and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, dude, I told you. I tried to tell you. Like I yeah, I felt like it was no. I was all like anxietied up. I was like, no, I am okay, but like this is what I do not enjoy things like this. So thank y'all for because I will not watch true crime stuff. I won't. I'll listen to podcasts. Like I can listen to things. This is another thing that might be helpful for folks. Sometimes you can listen, a lot of times reading the news versus watching videos is less activating to our nervous system. So I can read some of that stuff, but seeing a visual is too much for me. So um, play around with it and get curious. But one thing that there's a really awesome principle that I learned in coach training, and it's two types of energy. So anabolic energy is energy that feeds us. So what are you doing like when you feel like you're in flow? For me, cooking, I love to cook. It's a creative outlet for me. Sewing. Sometimes I'll hyper focus on different crafts. Like one time it might be knitting, one time it might be sewing. But a lot of times when I'm in my craft room, the time just starts, it just flies by. So what are those activities for you? Um, do things, try to incorporate some more of that in your life. Be intentional about it. Um, the energy that drains you is catabolic energy. So anabolic energy is
Anabolic
energy
energy
that
is energy that
feeds you, and catabolic energy is energy that drains you. So it could be a person, an activity, an environment, relationships. It could be your work. So just pay attention to, man, I feel really drained and stressed. and start to get curious about that. And then you can start to, you know, tailor, like, start to put boundaries where you need to have more say or more control in your life to not get so drained. Does that make sense?
Mhm. I love that.
I would say music is a good one for me. I have to,
Yes.
you know, eh, if I'm feeling stressed or I have to play some like good music, just stick my AirPods in and then that just kind of makes me feel a lot better. Or I have to exercise. Like I'll jump on my Peloton and then I'm just like, okay, cool. I can get kind of not rid of it, but I can just calm it down. Um, but I'd say music is the top one for me.
I
Even
love that.
dancing around your house, that again, that can help. That really can help. So, yeah,
I created a playlist and I call it Running on a Sunny Day. And that is, yeah, all of my favorite uplifting happy songs that like kind of, so yeah, that's music is so transformational. It really it can take you somewhere like you don't need to be, and it can take you out of like a funk like nobody's business. But I think, yeah, and finding like you said, Desiree, the things that just lift you up, and a lot of times we try to take things away, but what can you do to add to your day to make it better is so important.
Yeah. Music
definitely.
is a very, and dancing is a great way to shift your energy quickly. The other thing is if you have time, or ways that you can show up and serve others. So find a cause that you're passionate about. There's a lot of people that are manning little free pantries right now. If you feel called to do that, set up a little free pantry and start, packing meals and restocking that. Gather your community. So find the causes that mean the most to you, and do something good for somebody else that will feed your energy, and that will take you out of you're acting from this place of abundance, and you're giving, from your excess resources to help somebody else, and that feels really good. It also allows you, it can open up you connecting with people that have a passion about a similar thing, and that community can help us also kind of relax into a little bit of a calmer nervous system state. And
That's
nature
great.
nature is
Yeah.
inherently calming to your nervous system, so get out to a park. um Physical exercise, like Michelle said, getting that anxiety out, is also very helpful.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's so good. Any kind of grounding exercises you can find, those are good. Um, I journaling is also another way. And I encourage people, journal, find the things that are going right as well. I think that that's the thing too, is we have the tendency to look at the negative of things that are happening around us. Not saying avoid it like the Dory world. Don't, you can create your own bubble if you want to enjoy. Or you can, find a balance as well. I think that's the other thing. We're out of balance. As humans, tend to look at the negative of everything that's happening, and you find some things in your life that are actually going right, and being in gratitude for the things that you do have and the things that you've been able to experience, and that sort of thing too. I know that for myself, when I'm feeling out of balance and out of whack, taking just a minute to, and I've got notes around my place that says, what are three things you're grateful for? Say I love you 10 times. I have these little notes to remind myself, I look like a mad woman with everything that's around, like all the notes and things, but things like that to remind me of that, everything is in balance. Everything is in balance. The universe is beautifully in balance. Everything is really, if you look at nature in itself, everything is 100% in balance. It's us that gets out of balance. And can we find things to balance within ourselves and balance our nervous system and put our perspective just a little bit? I'm not saying nothing's wrong in this world. I'm definitely not saying that. But I'm also saying that there are things that are also going right. And can you kind of just find a little bit of something to make you feel better?
Mhm. Nice. Are you ready for the uncomfortable question of the week?
No.
Michelle
Yeah,
really loves this segment.
She
I
does. You see a smile on her face
do.
when
I
she does
know.
it.
She
She's
likes to
like,
torture us.
I don't. I don't.
I don't believe you. I don't believe
I
you.
don't believe you.
All right.
Are you contributing to the stress you complain about?
Ooh.
I'm going to put my hand up and say yes. I try and practice what I preach and tell my clients to do, but sometimes I will put myself in a stressful situation and I don't need to. Because I want to do everything all at once and fit everything in and you know, and then I get stressed about it and then I have that feeling and that sensation in my body and then I'm just like, Michelle, why? Why do you do this? And then sometimes it just happens. And then actually sometimes I'll then take action and then I'll move stuff because I'm just like, no, I cannot, I cannot, physically cannot, and I'll change certain things to kind of stress, de-stress my life. But sometimes I do contribute to it and I am very aware of it. And I'm again, I'm not perfect. I can do it sometimes, but then sometimes I need to check myself because I think I'm superhuman. And then I'm like, no, Michelle, you're getting older, so you need more rest. So, yeah, I will put my hand up, but I'm
Mhm.
getting better, getting better.
What about you, Desiree? CZ,
Um,
I'm pushing it off to you guys.
you're so funny. Yeah,
Oops, we're out of time.
I can contribute to the stress that I've been complaining about. I'm getting better at it, much better. I am better at kind of putting myself on cruise control versus just, putting the pedal to the metal and then hitting a wall and being exhausted. So I build in rest time. So if I'm learning to do that. I'm not always good about doing it. But if I have a trip, not expecting myself to come back and, land at 7:30 in the morning and have a full day's energy worth of work, like that just is not going to happen anymore. The other thing is ruminating. So I'm probably going to take a couple social media apps off my phone after Michelle sharing that she has done the same. Um, because I can doom scroll. But there is I am thankful that my feed is a lot more positivity than it is negative stuff. Um, but I don't know how to stay informed without going into rumination, and catastrophizing. And that's really the piece that I've been struggling with. And I think that just takes practice. And sometimes when you go a little overboard, dialing it back. Like I was so busy with family stuff last week that I don't know what's going on in the news right now. I'm very disconnected um with the latest headlines. I know like a general sense, but I'm like, okay, like how close do I need to get to this to stay on track with what's going on in the world? Um yeah. So it's a process. I'm trying to learn how to set myself on cruise control where have more consistent energy than just burning out and then having to sleep for a day.
Yeah.
All right, Dory, what you
Shoot, I
got?
was hoping you'd forget.
Yeah. One minute. One, two, three.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I forget. that's the thing is that you I've had all of this like spiritual training and all of these different tools in my tool belt. Getting sober for me was a huge training session for life. They call it a design for living. And, I forget all the time. And I become part of the problem and not part of the solution. And I find for myself where I get tripped up a lot is gossip and just kind of getting involved in other people's drama and creating my own drama too. I mean, I like this spiciness of life. So if there's not some drama, sometimes I create it. And so, um, but it's progress, not perfection, and being able to hopefully pull myself out of it as quickly as I got myself into it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times with getting involved in other people's stuff, it keeps you from doing the examination you need to do on your own stuff. And so it's a hell of a lot easier to focus on other people. And then it's fun because there's like the juicy aspect of it. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
after coming home from the week that I had with my family, there was some juicy stuff that was shared. Because now most of the people that the juicy stuff is about are no longer here on this earth. And so it kind of frees people up sometimes to tell some of those stories. Um, anyway, I've been noodling a lot around grief and loss and yeah, lately. And I've just had some realizations like life is an incredible teacher.
That it is.
Yeah. So, all right. Are we ready for the quotes? Are y'all ready for the quotes?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Sure.
Woo! Yay! Yes.
Dory's like, yes, this is
Sure.
an easy one. Who wants to start?
I'll
You
go. I'm going to use a quote from that I learned from AA, and that helps me a lot of times in these kind of situations, and that is really trying to just control what's in my hula hoop. Only control what's in your hula hoop.
I like that.
So explain that to people who are not. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of times we're so worried and concerned about everything else that's going on. Sometimes there are truly things that are out of your control that you worry about and stress about and those sort of things. Really and truly, what I can focus on is what is like in my general vicinity and the things that I can, take charge of in that moment. Again, not saying don't be worried about things going on in the world. Don't, there's a but sometimes we tend to take it on so much and go, it is my responsibility to fix this problem. It is my like I need to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. Can you just carry, I know myself, I'm already a hot mess as it is. I'm already enough for me to handle. I'm hard to control myself. Sometimes I need to just be focused on what's going on with Dory and how am I behaving? How am I reacting? What am I doing the right things by the right people? Am I being a good human? If I can focus on being a good human, sometimes that's all I can do.
Um, I'll take the next one, which I think is what everyone should be doing. Be kind. Everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle, so you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and ain't nothing wrong to just be kind to people because again, we don't know what's happening to other people. We can assume, but we don't know. And someone may be fighting a bigger battle than you. So just be kind. And that was by Ian McLaren. Just be kind.
Love it.
And in true Desi fashion, I'm like, do I have to choose just one? I love the peace is not the absence of chaos. It's your ability to remain centered within it. So that's I don't know who said that. It's an unknown attribution to the quote, but yeah, so you can still be peaceful in the chaos. And one question that I like to ask myself is who do I want to be in this moment? And that usually helps me find my compass. But one of the other ones that I really love, it's also unknown who said this, an overstimulated mind cannot hear the whispers of intuition.
Mm.
And so when we're running around we're playing whack-a-mole and we're in survival, sometimes there's an answer that is more aligned with our path and is a way that is more passionate for you and will bring what you need in an easier way, but we can't see it because we're so stirred up in surviving. And so the overstimulated mind, your intuition is speaking. So if you can disconnect that even for a few minutes every day and tap into that intuition, you'll have sparks of creativity and it might help you find your path through the chaos. All right. Now we would normally plug our next episode, but we're going on hiatus. We're taking a holiday break, y'all.
We deserve a vacation, right? We deserve a vacation because we can do what we want.
Yeah, when you have your own show. So
Yeah.
we're gonna drop another episode on January 12th. That will start season 3. In the meantime, if you need to catch up on episodes, we have 21 episodes for you to listen to. Get caught up on your playlist. And over the holidays, during those road trips, is a great time to listen to podcasts. So we'll be back on January 12th with a new show. If you have questions, we would love to hear your questions or topic suggestions or feedback. We always put a form under the show notes. So go ahead and fill out that form, send us some feedback. We also have contact information down there. Let us know what you think, what you'd like to hear us talk about, and we'll see y'all in January.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving and happy
Thank
Christmas,
you, everyone.
everyone.
Yes.
All
Take care.
right.
Thanks for tuning in to Life Coaches Unfiltered. If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or follow us on social media. Got a question you've been afraid to ask? Send it our way at lifecoachesunfiltered@gmail.com. Until next time, keep growing, keep questioning, and stay unfiltered.